party dip, and tailgate snack. Load up on Peter's cheese spread today. Found in most local grocery stores.
All right, it's lunchtime. Where should we go today?
How about Qdoba? We can get queso and chips with an entree purchase.
Whoa, how'd you know about that?
It's in the campus cash booklet that we got for free to start the school year. The student marketplace. You didn't get yours?
I'd better go grab that now.
You'd better stop at the College of Hair Design too. Your hair is getting wrong. $8 haircut with the campus cash book.
What about my friends who are out of college?
They can download the campus cash app for free and get great deals too, from Pizza Hut, Juice Stop, Craft Axe Throwing, and tons more.
Campus Cash, the student marketplace. Find your free booklet on campus or download the Campus Cash app.
Houses? They're expensive. And once you buy one, you're kind of stuck with it for a while. You need to make sure you get your best house for the best price. You need Ben Bleicher and his team of pros at Professional Realty Group. They'll take the time to figure out what's important for you in your dream home, and they have the expertise to find the hidden issues that can surprise you after the sale. That's professional knowledge, proactive service. We call that potential. Ben Bleicher and the team at Professional Realty Group of Berkshire Hathaway's Home Service Ambassador. Find more online at prg-ne.com.
This is where it happens. Long hikes with friends, kayaking adventures with family, more horseback riding, zipline gliding, rock face climbing, hammock camping fun than you could ever imagine. And it's all outdoors, amongst the trees and across the prairie, here beneath Nebraska skies. Plan an outing today at yournebraskaadventure.com. Sponsored by Nebraska Game and Parks, aired with the Nebraska Broadcasters Association and this station.
Sunday morning. It's quiet. Not in a weird, too quiet way. Calm, peaceful, tranquil. You pour yourself that cup of coffee. You slice yourself a hearty cup of one of the bakery breakfast breads. Now, maybe you're an apple streusel guy. Nothing wrong with that. I can respect that. Personally, I'm a turtle nut man. Something about those pecans. But the real ones know, don't sleep on that date nut bread. Sweet, but not too sweet. Nutty, not overly. The perfect morning treat. Beatrice Bakery. Online at beatricebakery.com. Welcome to our world of yum.
Accelerate your financial journey. With Kasasa Cash, experience the thrill of earning more with each transaction or the freedom to withdraw your cash from any ATM nationwide. Not to mention, no monthly service fees. It's the power of earning up to 5.5% APY on your Kasasa Cash with Liberty First Credit Union. Earn rewards beginning at a penny, continuing up to $40,000. Visit libertyfirstcu.com for details. Federally insured by NCUA. Liberty First Credit Union. Banking with purpose. Account qualifications apply.
That haven't been here before, but at the end of the day, they understand somewhat of what it means. And the majority of the guys, or the guys that got them, they must be doing something right. For me personally, you know, that was just something I never forgot, man. It was just when I was on campus, because I never envisioned myself doing anything until my senior year.
On 93.7 The Ticket and theticketfm.com. This is Lincoln's home for sports talk on the FM dial. The home of Kansas City Royals baseball. KNTK FM Firth, 93.7 The Ticket. The Malone Radio Show on 93.7 The Ticket and theticketfm.com. Here are your hosts, Executive Director John Goodwin and Athletic Director Michael Hunter. Welcome into the Malone Radio Show on 93.7 The Ticket and theticketfm.com.
How y'all doing tonight? I don't know what Michael Hunter is, but this is John Goodwin, the Executive Director of the Clyde Malone Community Center, established 1955 in Nebraska. Great to be back tonight. I have a special guest tonight. Mr. Lawrence Gardner is in the house tonight. I don't know if you all know him, but when you get done listening to Lawrence tonight, you are going to be inspired. He has some great information for you. This is Suicide Prevention Month, for those who did not know. And the Malone Center in 2019 began to address mental health in our community. It has been addressed, but as far as the Malone Center, we have really been very aggressive in recognizing mental health. Some good, some not so good. But I'm here and I got Lawrence with me tonight. Lawrence, let me introduce Lawrence. He is one of our good friends at the Malone Center, but he is also a therapist. Lawrence Gardner is a leading mental health professional and the founder of Center Counseling Services LLC. Lawrence, welcome to the show tonight.
Man, I'm happy to be here. Thank you for having me. 93.7 The Ticket. Thank you for having me as well. John, definitely appreciate the invite. So I'm very excited to be here to talk about mental health and ways that we could improve the mental health impact in our community.
You know, let me just say this for those who don't know the Malone Center. Malone, our vision is to create unity and prosperity throughout Lincoln while honoring our African-American heritage. And the mission is to eliminate multi-generational poverty in Lincoln. And one of the ways we do that is with the holistic programming that we have and that we offer to the community and our kids. We are striving for perfection. And bringing Lauren on has just been a blessing to the Malone and to the Malone family. I've been knowing him for a while, but to actually bring him in and to see what he does, to interact with the kids and with the families has been phenomenal. Lawrence, give us a little bit of information on how you address this issue, some ways. Tell us a little bit about your company. We're diving right in right away. Normally we'll sit and talk football. Yeah, the Huskers won. Yeah, the Bears lost. Okay, we get that. But we do a little something here before we really get going into the program. But I really want to dive into this and take as much time as possible to address this issue. But Lawrence, can you give us a little bit about what you're doing, or a lot about what you're doing as far as what your company offers?
Center Counseling Services started just at the beginning of 2016. And Centered Counseling Services for me has always meant physical health, intellectual health, emotional health, and spiritual health. As a therapist, we try to encourage our clients to focus in on all areas of their lives, all aspects of their lives. And sometimes we understand that working with kids, exercise is just as important as sitting down and talking in talk therapy. So when we can get a kid, and that's why the Malone Center has been an absolute blessing to me as a company, is because you guys do offer the gym and the space. So the relationship has definitely been mutually beneficial in the sense that we're able to bring kids in and exercise and be able to also talk about the things that they need to address mental health wise. We've been up and running as an in-home therapy company. So usually we go and see kids at school and see kids in their homes. But when the Malone Center invited me to offer services there, then it kind of gave us a hub to where we could practice our services.
Now that is awesome. 1, 2. So thank you for taking on that challenge, Lawrence. It started off, I believe, when we asked you all to come, and I believe that it started off like 1 or 2 days, and then next thing I know, I see the alarm going off on the building. He's there every day. He's every day, even on Sundays. Working with the clients, working with the youth. Helping them as much as he can. The dedication that I see. And let me just say this, because we are sitting on Old Street right now. This is a phenomenal station. Let me digress. Yes, 93.7 The Ticket has really, I'm sitting here watching cars, and that's the thing. I'm gonna have to look the other way because I'm watching cars go by. I'm a people watcher anyway, so I just like to watch and see cars go by, and here I am trying to ask questions, and we're talking about mental health, so I'm gonna definitely have to stay focused on tonight.
Well, you're on with the right.
I'm on.
Help you with your focus.
Appreciate that. Brother do need some help, especially coming from Chicago. I need all the help I could get. Shouts out to my Southsiders. Chicago. If you're from Chicago, please see Lawrence Gardner. Hey, I'll give you his number at the end, please. all of the things that you're doing, I can't do justice. So how do you? What is one of the ways that you really interact or really work with our kids? I mean, I see you mentioned exercise. Can you explain a little bit about what that looks like in a session?
Well, number one, we understand that most of the kids that we work with experience some type of emotional or behavior disorder. And we understand that exercise, one, gets more oxygen into the body.
Mhm.
You can sweat out some of those toxins and release some of those healthy dopamines that helps you reduce tension or reduce stress. So that's one of the things that we try to address because we know most of the time for kids that have experienced trauma, stress is related to that.
Mm.
So if you can get kids to reduce stress or reduce the tension, then you can get them to hear you better. Now, sometimes I know this doesn't move as fast as some people like. But when you're talking about healing a kid who might not have somebody like me in their life consistently, when I'm talking about a father or a male figure that's present for them on a week-to-week basis and somebody that could help them address treatment goals. So when you're talking about exercising, one of the things that I know a majority of our kids also participate in sports.
Got it.
So when you're talking about skill development in sports, how I do it is like, hey, the same way you develop skills, how you develop a better jump shot or develop better footwork, you could develop better coping skills. You could develop better thinking patterns. You could develop better, but all of it takes practice, whether it's sports or mental health. You got to practice the skills that we discuss in the gym and put it to work at school, at home, and in the community.
Mm. You're talking about sports. Sports is it's a physical thing, but it's also a lot mental.
Without a doubt.
You're dealing with a lot of mental. I mean, from coaches yelling at you, from you remembering plays, from all these different aspects of just sports. Um, it's amazing. I've never heard of therapy used in sports. I've never normally let's talk about just our community in general of the black African American community. As growing up in Chicago, we just did not believe our family. I mean, our just community just not. We didn't believe in therapy.
Absolutely.
We didn't believe in going to therapy. We believed in, go get some prayer or, those different things, or you'll be okay. He's just a little off. He'll be okay. Put everything under the rug. Never really addressed. Why is it that most of our community, I'm not going to say all, but even growing up in the 70s or 80s or 90s, why was it such of a difficult thing to address?
I think it's a very good question, and I appreciate the question. But it's a very complicated answer because a lot of times you're also dealing with family secrets. And if you go and talk to the therapist, hey, be careful what you talk about, be careful what you say. So you got to work through all those issues. But I think Lincoln as a whole has done a really good job of putting mental health in the spotlight. So I think people are starting to feel a little bit more comfortable seeking therapy. And now that they understand African Americans that are out there that are providing therapy, it makes it a little bit easier to come and get therapy. But I do think there's been this long-standing odds with therapy and then say the church, right? Hey, go talk to God about it. Go pray to God about it. However, when you go pray, you also need objectives. You also need the ability for someone to say, hey, 3 times a week, I want you to practice your assertiveness skills. Talk to somebody go talk to your coach if you feel like your coach is not using you in the right way. Learn to find your voice is something that I preach in therapy a lot. Find your voice. So it's one thing to pray about it and then wait for your aha moment versus therapy where now we're going to give you the skills on the spot. We're going to give you things to talk about on the spot, which again falls into, like I said, these daily objective where you get to practice skills on a daily basis. So for the Black community, what they need to understand is that mental health is not at odds with spirituality or religion. I think there's a verse in Isaiah that says God is the great counselor. Well, it's the same thing here. You know what I'm saying? So you need someone to talk to. You need someone to guide you when you're having a difficult time. And yes, prayer is a starting point, and I think it's a good point to admit that you need help, but then go find somebody to talk to. And it doesn't necessarily mean I'm the right person, but somebody out there is the right person to help you discuss some of the issues that you're working through.
You know what? That is really good. I was sitting here trying to figure out what if a person is looking for a therapist. What are some of the things that they should look for? Is it important for that therapist? I remember I have some family members who actually I have an aunt who is a therapist. It's one of the main points that she made to me. She says, in finding a therapist, make sure that therapist just close you up. They're going to open you up, but make sure you leave closed. What does that mean when you're talking to someone who is looking for a therapist or thinking about therapy? What does that mean when they open up, close, make sure that you're closed up before you?
Well, when you're talking about what they have, they have mental health issues, and then you have major mental health issues.
Okay.
So this goes back to some of the things where we talk about secrets in the family, conversations that are very difficult to talk about, things that bring you to tears in conversations. So if you come to a therapy session and that therapist opens you up to all those feelings and emotions, and then, oh, goodbye, see you later. And now you're out there with all them open feelings, and now next person comes, hey, how you doing today? And you snapping at that person, you barking at that person because you are so emotionally vulnerable at that time because of the things that you are experiencing. Sometimes, I mean, when you're dealing with family, man, there's conversations of, how, child rearing, whether your parents spanked you or not, and how you responded to those things. I mean, even you and I have had our conversations about those things, and it's just kind of like, yeah, when you touch on those topics, sometimes it could be very emotional. And if a therapist is not careful in making sure, you do try to close the session laughing and trying to get them back to ground zero versus leaving them emotionally heightened. Because now when they go back home, all of a sudden they're snapping at the kids or snapping at the wife and whatever the case may be.
Got it. Yeah, I had a interesting time growing up. It was, I will. I got some therapy, but it came in form of a switch and a belt. I will say that. Mom, if you're listening, I'm still waiting on an apology. All right. So when you talk about 47 years old, like, Mom, you shouldn't have done that. No, it helped me. It definitely helped. I will say that. There was one thing that I wanted to mention. You talked about fathers, and I think we have time. I think we have a little time to maybe hit on this real quick. You sent me something today that was very, very intriguing and interesting, and I just had to pause after I read it. It says children who grow up without a father are 5 times more likely to live in poverty and commit crime, 9 times more likely to drop out of schools, and 20 times more likely to end up in prison. That I mean, I can imagine. I mean, I got my fair share of troubles, and my mom and dad was in the house together. How important is it for fathers to really be there for their kids, as far as not just mentally, physically, emotionally, spiritually? How important is that? And could that prompt me? I was like, man, Malone needs to step up, and we need to do more with fathers and get the message out, and it had my mind going. Like how important is that? And I know you can't share a lot of information of what you see and what you deal with, but what can we do as a community to maybe address this issue, in making sure that fathers are there, present? You may not be, the mom and the dad may not be able to get along, but how can a dad or a father still be present with their child, even outside the home? I probably asked about 5 questions there. So take your time with it.
No, I mean, and I again, another great question. And I appreciate the question because it is something that is very important to me. I celebrated 23 years of being married last week.
Oh, congrats.
And one of the things early on, I was working 3 jobs, man. I was out of the home and I was also working on my master's in counseling.
Mhm.
And one day my son, he was just going through a hard time. And my wife was like, hey, you need to go talk to your son. Went upstairs and I talked to him and I asked him, like, what's going on? And he was just like, man, you're never here. Always working. And I was like, what? What is it? The playing? Is it the interacting? He was like, man, it's just your presence. A kid needs to see a father be a father, right? A father, they need to see a father interact with the mother. Like, where else would you learn teamwork? Where else would you learn negotiating skills? Where else would you learn cooperation? You know what I'm saying? Where else would you learn how to settle differences? These are things kids see in intact families. Now, for those families that are not intact, you could still work together with the other parent that you're co-parenting with and show kids those negotiating skills, those cooperating skills, those teamwork skills that 2 adults working together for the health of the child can teach just by their healthy relationship. It don't mean y'all, okay, I get it. Y'all love each other and y'all not going to be together anymore. But it is so important for those children to see parents work together. It's irreplaceable. A lot of times for me, I see a kid and I go, mental health issues. And I go, no, man, it's been absent and struggling family structure. The absence of consistency and structure. Now, when you come down to the nit and gritty of the father, sometimes a male child will show that bravado to a mom. But they come up against John Goodwin, who got that deep voice, and you know what I'm saying?
Here you go. Here you go.
You put a child in it, like you tell a child, like, yo, relax. And then that way a child learns to humble himself. When that's missing, and that's not taking away from the extraordinary job mothers are doing. And I see it on a daily basis. I mean, these moms are out here and they're wearing the working hat, they're wearing the doctor hat, they're wearing the taxi hat, man. They're wearing so many hats, so I understand it. So when that father could be present, whether you're in the relationship or just in a co-parenting situation, it just shows the kid what help and support looks like. And if a kid could see that, then a kid can model them skills as that kid grows up. But if if you're at odds and you're constantly fighting and the issues are constantly present and at the forefront of every time you interact, what do you think that kid's going to do in school? What do you think that kid's going to do in the community? He's going to do the same thing. He's going to be aggressive. He's going to talk to people disrespectfully. And a lot of times, unfortunately, these kids see that in the home.
That is, and I know you see a lot. I know you experience a lot more than what I see and what I've experienced. I know through my own experience when I got divorced, my ex-wife and myself, I believe we did a great job in co-parenting. I wasn't in the home, but I was around my kids all the time. So I'm very grateful because there are some moms who wouldn't allow the dad to even be around. And that don't do anything but punish the kids. It does not. I mean, we had our differences and we made sure that our differences remained our differences and not include the kids that are involved. And that was challenging as well. But at the end of the day, I was there, right? I had opportunities to move. I stayed. And the only reason why I stayed was because of my kids. And not saying that I was perfect, not saying that she was perfect, but we brought it together for the sake of them. And we were able to work. We were able to work together to make sure they finish high school. They're in college. They're doing very well in college. And, totally smarter than I am. when totally. So I think we did a great job because they further along than I was when I was at that age, basically. And I credit that. So that is something that I encourage You may not get along with your with the woman or with the man or whoever that person is, but for the sake of the kids, get along.
Well, if they understand those numbers that you just read, I mean, you see the importance of it. Because you're pretty much setting your kid up for failure when you don't get along. So it becomes so important that if you talk about, I want what's best for my kid, learn to get along with the other parent. So, for the parents that are out there that are listening and you might be in that situation, contact the Malone Center. I mean, I'll definitely sit down with some parents and see if we could negotiate or mediate some terms that just makes it better. Like I said, it doesn't mean that we have to get along and go out to dinner and do all that, but man, attend family events together, attend the games together. All those important lifetime events for kids, graduations and all those things, man, all those things are important for kids to see both parents at.
It's important for your kids to be more successful than you.
That's how you break
That's
generational
that's it, don't have a house like you want a bigger house. You want a nicer car. You want to invest your money. You don't want to spend your money like I did. You want to invest the money. You want to go to college. You want to get your degree. If the college is not for you, there's trade schools, there's the armed forces, whatever that looks like. Be better than dad. Be better than mom. Because what's alarming is children who grow up without fathers are 5 times more likely to live in poverty and commit crimes. 5 times. We're not even going to go to the 9 times more likely to drop out of schools and the 20 times more likely to end up in prison or dead. Where I'm from, it was either prison or death. It was one or the other. I was able to get out of there when I did in '96, and and I may need to get some therapy on the stuff that I've seen. You know what I mean? But it's important. It's important to make sure that we're paying attention to our kids, making sure that we're doing everything we can for them to not have the struggle like we had, to not go through the things that we went through. And in the process of for your child getting therapy, it's not a bad idea for you to get therapy too as a parent. I mean, that is something that I had to do it. I went and did it. And I got benefit from it. It really helped me process a lot of the things, especially during that divorce, a lot of the things that we're going through, and even making sure that I'm there for my kids.
Well, I remember when we were at the Malone Center and you asked me, you was like, what therapist talk to your therapist about? And I told you, well, my wife and I, we were doing couples counseling. And, one of the things that they talk to me about is building an emotional vocabulary, being able to talk about those feelings that typically in the Black culture, we have a tendency to stuff and not talk about and bring up. And you could generalize this to the public. Like, we grow up in a society that tell men that address their emotions, that are attuned to their emotions, that they're weak or somehow. You know what I'm saying? So there's that generalized thinking that goes along with that as well. But to me, the strongest man is somebody who can connect to his emotions. And when I've learned to do that, and unfortunately for my wife, I've learned in my later years, so I've missed a lot of good opportunities because I wasn't comfortable talking about my emotions. I'd stuff them and I'll stuff them, and then our relationship wouldn't be right. Whereas now, man, we just get it on the table and we talk about it, and you connect with people who you could share your feelings and your emotions with.
Man, listen. Yes, this is some great conversation. Listen, we're going to take a quick break, and when we come back, we would definitely want to hit on a few other issues, and I have a few other questions I want to be able to ask you, and you can address with the people here tonight. Again, this is the Malone Center. John Goodwin, Lawrence Gardner, 93.7 The Ticket.
Tune in to the Malone Radio Show from 9 to 10 p.m. every Sunday night to learn more about the Malone Center's goal to eliminate multi-generational poverty in Lincoln. It's the Malone Radio Show every Sunday night from 9 to 10 p.m. on 93.7 The Ticket and theticketfm.com.
Get all of your favorite restaurants delivered with menudelivered.com. One place for ordering delicious appetizers, refreshing salads, hot entrees, fresh sandwiches, and more. From Venue Restaurant and Lounge, Piedmont Bistro, and all Lincoln Good Sense Subs locations. Download our phone app to earn rewards on all of your carryout and delivery orders. Available on Apple and Android, just search for the Pillar Restaurants app. That's the Pillar Restaurants app. Download today.
So I switched my insurance to State Farm, and get this. I talked to an actual State Farm agent who lives in my actual town. And get this. My actual agent in my actual town gave me actual help with the coverage I needed. And get this. My actual agent in my actual town who gave me actual help actually knows my name. And get this. They actually say it's called service.
An energy tip from LS. Take alternative for heat pump tech to ensure your heating system runs at its peak efficiency before winter arrives. Learn more easy ways to save at les.com.
This is where it happens. Long hikes with friends, kayaking adventures with family, more horseback riding, zipline gliding, rock face climbing, hammock camping fun than you could ever imagine. And it's all outdoors, amongst the trees and across the prairie, here beneath Nebraska skies. Plan an outing today at yournebraskaadventure.com. Sponsored by Nebraska Game and Parks, aired by the Nebraska Broadcasters Association and this station.
So, I just got the State Farm personal price plan on my car insurance.
So you told your agent you play the bagpipes for your dog?
What? No, I didn't get that. First of all, my agent just helped me create an affordable price just for me. Okay, let me show you what I can work on. Okay,
Prices vary by state. Options selected by customer. Availability and eligibility may vary.
Attention all Wings fans. 89-cent wings are back on Tuesdays at Buffalo Wings and Rings in Lincoln. Enjoy the best wings in town for boneless or traditional at a price that makes the whole family happy. And now at the Williamsburg Village Wings and Rings, you can enjoy $1.50 tall boys in Bud Light, Coors Light, Busch Light, and Michelob Ultra every day after 7 p.m. and all day on Sundays. Get to Wings and Rings today and make sure to stop by on Tuesdays for 89-cent wings.
Now back to the Malone Radio Show on 93.7 The Ticket and theticketfm.com.
We are back. This is John Goodwin, the Executive Director of the Malone Community Center. I am here with Lawrence Gardner. Listen, Michael Hunter, I will say this. We do miss you tonight, brother. Go Mob. We definitely do miss you tonight. I don't know. We must too. I don't know if you fell asleep on something. You felt bad because your Broncos lost the way they did. That's probably what it was. The Broncos lost tonight. They got a fluke. They got a fluke touchdown at the end, and that was a pass interference. I will say that, Mike. So I hope you feel better tomorrow. But you know what? We're talking about therapy. So, Mike, I hope you stay on and reap the benefits of what Lawrence is talking about.
Hey, definitely reach out to me if you want to talk about the 0-2 Broncos.
Oh, because I definitely got a whole bunch of questions with these Bears, but I am trying not to ask these questions tonight. I'm trying. You know, the Huskers won. I'm not a big Husker fan. Yep, I said it. 93.7 The Ticket. My son plays there, so you know what? I am. So I kind of contradicted myself on that one, I think. Okay, so we're going to keep going with these questions. So, Mike, big shouts out to you, everyone who's listening. Thank you so much for listening tonight. We are talking about mental health. Again, this month of September is Suicide Prevention Month, and we definitely want to Lawrence, the question I want to have is, because I think a lot of people, and some of the people that I've talked to, trying not to let the Chicago public school system come out in my, because sometimes I could go there, right? What is the difference between mental health and mental illness? Because I think sometimes when we mention mental health, it's like, oh, I ain't got no problems. I don't have any issues. Right. Well, that's the first sign you probably do, right? So what is the difference between, because I always thought that mental health was, it's just, I need to do things for my mental health. It's like when I'm going to the gym. You mentioned sports therapy is something to where I will go work out. And I go work out because I want to keep my body healthy. I want to keep my muscles intact, bigger, or want to stay strong. I want to stay fit, because I know if I don't do that, I know what runs in my family: high blood pressure. My dad had high blood pressure. He diabetic. He was diabetic. And those are the things that I do not want. So to prevent those things, I do things to, I try to eat a little differently. I said try. Sometimes I do have some bacon every now and then. Sorry, Ishmael.
Watering hole makes it different.
Yeah, watering
hole wings make it difficult to stay healthy all the time.
Watering hole, stir 22. Shouts out to Chuck. I mean, the wings is phenomenal. So if you've never had stir 22, go there on Thursdays. It's the wing special. But I digress. But what is the difference between mental health and mental illness for those who don't know?
Mental health for me is, let's go back to that idea of physical health, intellectual health, emotional health, and spiritual health. Now, if you could take those 4 parts of your being and reach what they call is a psychological flow, that means you're in, LeBron James term, you're in your zone.
Okay, he did that on purpose. Listen,
you're in your zone,
Okay, I'm gonna let that go. Tonight.
When you hit your flow and you really, I'm exercising every day, man. I'm reading every day, and I'm having intellectual discourse out in the community, and I'm building my perspectives, and I'm opening my minds to different thoughts. And then emotionally, man, yes, I'm attuned. I'm engaging others, and I'm talking to others, and I'm being vulnerable with others. And then spiritually, man, self-care. You're taking the time out just to watch a sunset, to go sit by a river. When all those things are flowing in the same direction, physical, intellectual, emotional, and spiritual, when those things are flowing in the same direction, I feel like you've reached your mental health. Now, mental illness, obviously, if you're struggling emotionally, you're going to struggle physically. And this is an important part for some people to understand, because they've seen that people that have gotten or becoming experts at stuffing feelings also sometimes will gain extra weight, because you're starting to build a habit of stuffing. And you see it in another area of your life. So if you are stuffing your feelings emotionally, you might be stuffing other things. You might be what they call eating as a coping skill, right? So if you're not addressing your emotional health, you might be damaging your physical health. And definitely, if you're not going out and reading and understanding that 70 to 72% of physical illness is caused by how we eat. So you gotta be, you gotta read, you gotta study, you gotta understand how your body works, because without it, there is no mental health. So if you're in good physical shape, there's a very good chance that you're gonna have good mental health. But if you're struggling physically with inflammation, right, my knees, it's hard for me to roll out of bed. I always got this brain fog, right? I can never have this mental clarity. Sometimes that's the way we eat. Sometimes I don't take enough time for self-care, where I just sit down on O Street and watch people, like my wife and I used to do sometimes. Just chill out and listen to the leaves. I mean, Nebraska has some of the most beautiful sunsets, man. Take time to enjoy it sometimes, and just be present with the moment. That way you could understand that all this busyness in our lives, man, if we can cut back on some of that by just enjoying some of this beautiful environment that Nebraska provides, will go a long way towards reducing the mental illness part of it.
So when you're talking about self-care, that is really good. And sometimes I complain about the sun that comes up on the other side, and it's hitting my face, and I can't see while I'm driving down 84th. That's a whole nother subject. But what it's like, man, I'm trying to just drive, but what you mentioned self-care. a person who is very busy, similar to myself, a person who is, doesn't seem like they have time because they got a lot going on. I know you hit on a little bit what does self-care is very important. What does that look like though? How does a person, if they have issues in closing out their day, what does that look like? Because I know at one point when I first started at the Malone, I was taking work home. I was working at the kitchen table. I
remember we used to talk about
papers
that. Man,
all over the place.
Leave it at work, man. Leave it at work.
Like, how does a person maybe you can give some examples of how you can shut your day off. I know after talking with you, and I was talking to a few other gentlemen in Lincoln, and I asked the same question. That question has been a question. A lot of people here in Lincoln, they have a hard time shutting their day off. I realize that, and if it's 5 emails, okay, I'm going to answer 5 emails, and then I'm closing the laptop. That's it, right?
Yep.
Sometimes my mind does not shut off, or I would get up thinking about work. Let me go do this. Let me go do this. Let me go do this, and I haven't given any time for myself. So, do you have any examples of how to start your day, one, and how to shut your day down? So you can go and enjoy maybe the walks in the park or the sunsets. How does a person shut their mind off? What are some of the things that you suggest or have seen, or maybe you have tried for yourself?
I want to begin with a shout out to Milford, Nebraska, that shuts down at 7:30. So that makes it easy for me to take late night walks. And there's, sometimes I used to a lot, is take late night walks with my dog. But to answer your question, you have to choose you when you're talking about a work-life balance. You have to know, just like your job says, hey, I need you to be in at 8:00. Well, then I'm going to choose me at 7:00. And at 7:00, I'm going to sit on my porch. I'm going to have me some coffee. I might read me some affirmations for the day. I might talk to a good friend, start with a healthy breakfast. But it begins with choosing you. Now, when I say choose you, you also have to be in tune, like Cat Williams would say. You got to be in tune with yourself. What do you enjoy? Go back to your childhood, man. Was it painting? Was it coloring? Was it playing with Legos? I don't know what it could be anything. But take time to bring those things back into your life. Like I said, for me, Colorado is always my family's sabbatical because we love being around running water and rivers. And what I've learned is water is my spiritual thing. I just love being around water. Now, growing up in Los Angeles, California, yeah, we have our beach, but beaches are a lot different than rivers. And so you have to find out what you love. And when I'm talking about what you love, like one of the things that I enjoy the most is when we've been talking about it via text lately. Hey, we got to have another night out, like you, myself, Ishma, because that's part of what I need to rejuvenate myself. You got to remember at the end of the day, work is always going to be there. It's always going to be there. There's always going to be another task. There's always going to be another objective. What's not always going to be there is your lifetime. And you got to remember, you got to make time for the important people in your life, and you got to make time for yourself, which again, I would say just choose some things that you used to enjoy, music, leaving Lincoln and driving to Milford into that sunset and having my favorite reggae artist on is a self-care moment for me. Things that I just enjoy. And then when I get home, it's cooking for my family, and it's being home, hanging out with my dog, and that's it. And then I'll get back to work tomorrow. And yes, I'm getting texts late at night, but then I got to force myself just to ignore my phone.
Yeah, force yourself to ignore the phone.
Because you want to help, right? You see that text, and somebody
buddy.
says, hey, look, man, I'm interested in therapy. And I'm like, I'll get back to you tomorrow. Because tonight, I'm with my family.
Now that is I ignored my phone for about a week when I went on vacation, and I'm not gonna lie to you. The first couple of days was hard. The first couple of days, you like, man, let me see what's going. Let me see. Let me see. So I had to turn all my notifications off. Do not disturb. I think I had it on there all day, unless it was my son or my daughter who was just urgently something happening, but I couldn't get there no way. So it was like, I'm gonna wait till I get back. But that right there, and the water, love the water. Can't swim well, but I love the water, right? I mean, it's something that listening to the water hit the rocks, hit that right, the waves. I love that. I used to go downtown Chicago all the time to the lakefront and just hang out.
Absolutely.
It's a great place to just get your mind right. Music, Shaba. Yeah, I listen to music too to get my mind right. And I started doing that even going to work. I would work out before I go to work because I just don't feel like going to work after I work, right? So I would go before, and then on my way in, I'm listening to something that's gonna fire me up. If that be a podcast, if that be some music to get me going, and I'm bumping it. I'm at 9 and I'm bumping it, and I don't want to start my day coming into work, getting right to work. Give me about 10-15 minutes.
Let me ease into this.
Yeah.
And I think that's the important part again. I mean, I want people to really understand, like, you have to make yourself a priority, and you have to understand that if you are happier and you are less stressed, you're going to perform better in other areas of your life. And that could be all areas. But when you got that tension and you got that stress all the time, it's going to reduce your productivity.
That is so true. What's that song? If you happy and you know it, clap your hands.
Right.
If you happy and you know it, clap your hands. I'm not gonna sing it. Y'all don't want me to sing that. This has been, Lawrence. If there were people out that were trying to reach you, what are some of the best ways that they can reach and get in contact with you?
I am my own company, so it's my business phone, 402-641-7223. Again, that's 402-641-7223. And I don't have a website. We're a small company. It's only 2 clinicians there. But Centered Counseling Services.org is how you could reach out to us as well.
And with your company, how is maybe the question I want to ask too is, how does your company separate from the rest?
I think I appreciate that question because I feel like I've always tried to add my own uniqueness to my brand of therapy. And most therapists are what we call behavioral therapists, right? You did something today. Let's address what you did. Let's correct your thinking about it. For me, I come from the Carl Rogers school of thought. So for me, I want to be a relationship in your life. I want to build trust with you. I want you to understand that I am here not as an expert in your life, because you're the expert in your life. You've lived your life for however many years you've lived it. Now I'm just here listening to you and giving you feedback on some of the things that you're sharing with. And sometimes for me, my focus is not immediately fixing the behaviors, but it's also giving you a trusting person that you can go talk to. And I'm also willing to break a sweat with you on the basketball court. I'm also willing to go for a walk with you in the community. I take pride in being able to reward kids that typically might not go to Laszlo's. But yeah, we'll eat at Laszlo's. We'll eat at Hero 88. So that's how I'm kind of different. Like, I fully immerse myself in the relationship. And I think that's why I've been able to build such lasting and trusting relationships with some of the people that I work with, because it just don't stop at the office. I'm gonna go the extra mile. And you've never been to Laszlo's? You've never been to Hero? No, man, we've only eaten at Burger King and McDonald's. Oh, come on, man. And then you take these kids there and they go, hey, wait, they bring us the lemonade? Yeah, people serve you here. And for those kids, those are, what I'm saying? And like I said, for me, it's so easy to put a suit and tie on and just have people come to your office and that's how they see you. Versus, no, man, let's make this active. Let's have an active role. And then they go out in the community and they interact with the waitresses, and then you could see them apply some of the social skills that we talk about. Yeah, order your food. Order your own food. Now, I'm not going to order it for you. And they get to practice those skills in real time. So that's how I would say that I'm different.
Those experiences are priceless. It changes their mindset, eventually their behaviors and outcomes. And what you're doing is, and one of the key things that you said was relationships. It's all about relationships. Can they trust you? Can you be there when they call? Are you there for them? Do you love them? Do you care about them? Do you? One of the most important things that I've seen with youth is that they just want somebody to listen to them. I've seen that over and over and over again, even dealing with you, even with coaching youth for a number of years. They just want somebody to listen to them, and that's very important in how we're moving forward in what the Malone is doing. We're going to take a quick break, guys. This has been very Lawrence Lawrence this is why he's at the Malone Center and he's doing what he's doing. We're going to take a quick break and we'll be back with Lawrence. This is John Goodwin at 93.7 The Ticket.
If you struggle with joint pain, there's good news. You don't need surgery to get back to full health. South Point Medical and Aesthetics offers breakthrough non-surgical options for treatment of moderate to severe joint pain. Our patients experience little to no downtime from our procedures, and the results are remarkable. They've had 14 years of successful treatments with patients from 35 states because of an effective word-of-mouth traffic. Learn more about how you can get lasting results for joint pain today at southpointmedical.com or call 402-323-8400.
Tune in to the Malone Radio Show from 9 to 10 p.m. every Sunday night to learn more about the Malone Center's goal to eliminate multi-generational poverty in Lincoln. It's the Malone Radio Show every Sunday night from 9 to 10 p.m. on 93.7 The Ticket and theticketfm.com.
A fall aeration by Judson Irrigation will help maintain your lawn by maximizing the effectiveness of your watering and fertilization. Judson will flag the locations of your sprinkler heads, followed by a deep core aeration to give your lawn the breath of fresh air it needs. Schedule your aeration today. Your lawn will love you for it.
Let us aerate today to ensure a healthy head start for your lawn next spring. Go to judsonirrigation.com or call Judson Bylene 402-420-6277.
Up your kitchen game with Kitchen Tune-Up. With experienced, creative, and dedicated technicians on their team, Jason, Ron, and the team bring your kitchen dreams to life. Say goodbye to outdated spaces and hello to a renewed, personalized kitchen that will make you the envy of your friends, neighbors, and family. Experience quality craftsmanship and exceptional customer service when you choose Kitchen Tune-Up. Visit kitchentune-up.com/Lincoln-NE today or call 402-200-4697 and achieve the kitchen tune-up of your dreams.
Hi, Sean Callahan here for Koppel Chevrolet GMC, and our big fall sales underway. The new truck incentives are off the charts. Over $5,000 in discounts on select new Sierras and Silverados and 0.9% interest rates. Yes, you heard right. $5,000 off, 0.9% interest rates on select new trucks here at Koppel. So please take that short money-saving drive down 144th Street and check out that great small-town vibe with big city deals. We look forward to seeing you, or check us out online at koppelcars.com. You'll be glad you did. All deals with approved credit.
Belmont Chiropractic and Novotny Nutrition and Wellness specialize in getting rid of people's pain quickly and permanently. For 31 years, they've been extremely successful with advanced techniques in pain relief using spinal adjustments and decompression, detoxification, diet and lifestyle modification, and more. They are fully equipped to handle the most seasonal athlete, weekend warrior, car accidents, strains, sprains, and more. Is there anywhere you're experiencing pain on your body, or are you fighting decreased energy and depression? Consult Belmont Chiropractic and Novotny Nutrition and Wellness first at 402-476-8619.
For many Nebraskans, fall means cooler weather and longer days that include running kids around, cheering for your favorite teams, and long days at work. The hours on your feet can really add up and give unnecessary pain and discomfort. At Fleet Feet Lincoln, they help find the shoes and inserts you need with their Fit ID machine, which takes a 3D image of your feet. If you're having trouble finding the right fit, visit Fleet Feet Lincoln at 77th and Pioneers.
This is where it happens. Long hikes with friends, kayaking adventures with family, more horseback riding, zip line gliding, rock face climbing, hammock camping fun than you could ever imagine. And it's all outdoors, amongst the trees and across the prairie, here beneath Nebraska skies. Plan an outing today at yournebraskaadventure.com. Sponsored by Nebraska Game and Parks, aired with the Nebraska Broadcasters Association and this station.
Now back to the Malone Radio Show on 93.7 The Ticket and theticketfm.com.
It looks like Miami scored. I wish the Bears can score. I've tried not to talk about sports tonight. But Chicago, can you please help a brother out? Please help a brother out and just score some touchdowns. We have a lot of money. I thought get an offensive line, get someone that can call some plays. I'm seeing Washington score points. Miami is scoring points. Green Bay scoring points. Everybody's scoring points. Nebraska put up 35. Ken, Chicago, if you hear me tonight, if there's anybody from Chicago that's listening to this tonight, this is John Goodwin, born and raised on the South Side, where I spend most of my days. All right. Hey, listen, we're having a great time at 93.7 The Ticket. The view is phenomenal. The atmosphere is amazing. I really love this place. Thanks again for allowing us to come and be a part of 93.7 The Ticket. We are the Clyde Malone Community Center, been established since 1955. And our mission is to eliminate multi-generational poverty. How we do that is with our programs, the programs that we offer, from early achievers to after-school programs to COC programs at Color Middle School, to maternal wellness programs, teen programs, Take Pause programs, minority health initiatives. We're and sports programs. We're all over the place. But tonight, we were graced to have in our presence Lawrence Gardner, who is our main therapist at the Malone Center, who is helping us heal, deliver, and set free these kids and adults in the community. So we are very grateful for someone to take the time and to want to be a part of what we're doing in this community. So again, Lawrence, thank you so much for your time tonight. We're going to have you on again for sure, because we really want to address some more things. I didn't want to hit on a lot of things tonight because we want you to come back. This is Suicide Prevention Month, in the month of September. So I think we have one more Sunday, and then we may go into October again with you and Ishma. We're very excited to have you all again. We're talking about mental health, and I want to ask this one last question, because this is something that I don't think I got to ask in regards of the sports therapy.
Mm-hmm.
We mentioned it with the kids. Do you do that with adults as well?
Not so much. I definitely can. 95% of my clientele is K through high school, 18.
Okay.
I do have some adults that I work with. Yes, they would benefit from more of an exercise approach, but we just have not at this time.
Okay.
But it's definitely something that we could provide. I mean, I think we've talked about it at the Malone Center as well, and I think we've kind of explored the idea of having a women's group and a father's group, and I think it'd be great if it involved, portions of that involved, mindfulness and exercise.
I love it. I love it. I love the fact that, because when I work out, I will love, and I will I will try it. It's something that I would love to try. Again, I am always looking for something. I used to do martial arts all the time, at least 3 times a week. And because I'm not able to do that as of right now, because I'm also coaching football as well as in the beginning stages of a capital campaign, and I have a beautiful family. Brothers out here busy. We we out here doing the thing, but you know what? I'm not complaining about it because I love doing it. Everything that I'm doing right now, it's a love. It's a love, and definitely want to be able to impact the community as much as possible in a positive way. And again, thanks again, Lawrence. Again, give your information out again. If those who are listening that didn't hit it before, if someone wanted to get in contact with you, if someone wanted to get into check you out as far as with therapy and your services, how would they be able to do that?
I would definitely say, like I said, reach out to me. Our business phone number is 402-641-7223. And then you can definitely reach out to me at the Malone Center. So contact the Malone Center, ask for me by name. Regina or whoever answers the phone there will get you in contact with me. So we could discuss therapy. Again, we are a small practice. So we're taking cases. We're not taking a lot of cases, but we definitely have room for more cases. I have another clinician, Jamal Hale, and my wife as well. So we can take on clients. My wife's expertise is in anxiety and ADHD. My expertise is kind of more so, like I said, the relationship building, the social skills, the coping skills, the mindfulness and the exercise. And I know our other clinician is the same way. So again, you can reach out to us, 402-641-7223. I would definitely say contact the Malone Center, though, if you're interested in establishing services or at least asking questions. There's nothing wrong with exploring, and it might not be right for you at this time, but it's okay. We could just have a sit down and an initial meet and greet and see if it's right for you.
Wow. Listen, I am amazed, and I've been knowing him for a few years. I'm just amazed of the things that he is doing in the community. The impact that he is making with our kids. We've definitely seen a great improvement of the kids that he is serving, that we are serving together. We've done some things with Visionary Youth.
Absolutely. Shout out to KB.
KB has always, KB is one of the busiest men I know, but he is definitely about the community and about the kids and making sure that we are doing what we need to do to make that positive impact for our kids and for our families. So big shouts out to him. We're going to have him on again as well. But guys, it's been a great night. I've had a lot of fun. I feel a little smarter. I definitely feel a little smarter, and we definitely going to have Lawrence back again. This is the Malone Show, Clyde Malone Community Center. I am John Goodwin. Mike is not here tonight, so big shouts out, Mike. I hope you're back next week. We'll see. Until we meet again next Sunday night, this is 93.7 The Ticket, The Malone Show. Y'all have a great week. Take care.
Take care of yourself. Self-care first.
Self-care. Yeah.
Thank you.
Appreciate it. Do the guy here on out.
My dream was to work in commercial banking, but it required a college
When the Dolphins are playing.
I found out that Doane had classes for adult learners on the Lincoln campus and online.
Yeah,
so I earned my bachelor's degree, and 5 months later, I landed my dream job. I decided to continue my education, and now I'm working on my MBA at Doane. For me, the Doane experience has been life-changing.
Wait, he didn't play football.
Okay, it's time to sell the house. How do we even begin to choose from the hundreds of realtors in town?
Easy. We make a pros list.
You mean a pros and cons list?
No, just a pros list. We need someone with pro photography to showcase the house in the best possible way, pro marketing to make sure we get maximum exposure, pro negotiations so we know we get the best price.
This is one of those times where you already know the right answer, isn't it?
You know it is. Ben Bleicher and Professional Realty Group.
Contact Ben Bleicher and the team at Professional Realty Group of Berkshire Hathaway's Home Services Ambassador online
online at prg-ne.com.
At first, I was really nervous and intimidated to buy a ring. I wasn't sure what I was getting into.
My experience at Starter Heyman was very easy. I felt like I walked out of Starter Heyman with the ring that was going to make her go wow and say yes.
I love my ring. It is so beautiful.
I absolutely love my ring. I get compliments on it all the time. I always tell them Starter Heyman.
Yeah, we would definitely recommend Starter Heyman.
Yeah, it was great.
We're definitely coming back in the future. Sauter Heyman Jewelers, Lincoln and Grand Island. SauterHeyman.com.
Gray Diesel and Equipment Services is hiring and seeking motivated applicants. Gray offers a second-to-none benefit package that includes dental, vision, 401k, paid vacation, and paid holidays. They offer great pay and tuition reimbursement or a tool purchase program for qualified candidates. It's a fun, friendly team with lots of variety and work assignments, so there's something for everybody. View and apply for their job openings today at grayusa.com or visit them in person just off I-80 and North 56th Street. Come be a part of the Gray difference.
All right, it's lunchtime. Where should we go today?
How about Qdoba? We can get free queso and chips with an entree purchase.
Whoa, how'd you know about that?
It's in the campus cash booklet that we got for free to start the school year, the student marketplace. You didn't get yours?
I'd better go grab mine now.
You'd better stop at the College of Hair Design too. Your hair is getting long. $8 haircut with the campus cash book.
What about my friends who are out of college?
They can download the Campus Cash app for free and get great deals too, from Pizza Hut, Juice Stop, Craft Axe Throwing, and tons more.
Campus Cash, the student marketplace. Find your free booklet on campus or download the Campus Cash